second to turn it down. Oh yeah, so happy Interdependence Day. Oh good, it's already turned off. Okay, let's do this. All right, so we are going to start with the lymph flush right away. Rubbing your hands together. This is a movement class. Movement, exercise, somatics, all the things, a little bit of everything. Health, moving towards health. Okay, so now your hands have a relationship. Right hand into this upper left quadrant. So here's my collarbone, here's my sternocleidomastoid. We want to get into there and really get in there, not so that it hurts, but so that you get some movement in all that tissue. So what we're doing is inviting the lymphatic fluid to return back in to here in your chest. I think it returns back into your heart and then it comes back out, reintegrates. And then we're going to go up behind the angle of the jaw, getting that whole thing moving. And if you move your head at the same time, when you're moving from the inside and you're moving from the outside, you're really moving. So you're really going to get in there. And then the same thing on the other side, left hand to that right upper quadrant. So I do a lot of different practices. I'm walking usually in the morning and doing a bunch of breath work and other things, meditation, movement. But this lymph flush, and I have really, really cleared up a lot of my allergies. So commitment and consistency to doing these practices is really helpful. So if you haven't gone up from that right quadrant into the angle of the jaw, get up there. And then we're going to go into these points, K27, right underneath your collarbones. There should be two little indentations. And I just like to kind of stick my fingers in there and circle around. This should feel good. Don't do it so hard that it doesn't feel good. Relax your neck, tongue, and jaw. So we want to have space in here and energy able to move through. And then we're going to go over right hand to the left in the armpit, deltoid, pec area. Getting in there, moving that big, there's a whole bunch of lymph nodes in there. So you're just moving all of that stuff around. You're inviting it to clear. And then the same thing on the other side. And then coming in, here's my xiphoid process and my belly button right in the middle. That is a deep one, cisterna chyli. You can kind of hollow in to let it get in there. We will get to more movement, but just starting out by clearing out this lymphatic, what does he call them? Lymph node roads. And then coming in just above your inguinal fold in here. So here are my hip bones, pubic bone right in the middle. And if I fold in, I can feel in there as well. Getting all of that to life, cleared out, energy moving. And then the same thing behind your knees. You can bend and straighten. Yeah, I still have a little inflammation in that right knee. So I'm inviting that inflammation to reabsorb into my body, to reintegrate, right? Shake it all out. Shake out your body. Let it go. Breathe. Have a bouncy moment. So as we're bouncing, like we can feel gravity, and then there's a rebound, right? The springiness of our body rebounding back up. Then inhale, open, stretch out and up. And exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, open it up. Chest and lungs and heart opening. And exhale, really letting yourself stretch out into the tissues of your body. So out from the center to the periphery, center to edge. We would also call that core distal, center to edge. One whole body. One more like that. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, bend your knees and shift from side to side. So yesterday I made a video for my Instagram account talking about what the different types of stretching are. So we want to start out with this kind of movement where it's dynamic stretching. Dynamic means it's changing, right? So there are dynamic stretches where we're moving in the stretch. We're not holding any stretch too long. These are a great way to warm up. This is mobilizing tissue, hydrating joints, and then come in and roll it up. So we want to do dynamic stretching before we do static stretching, right? So our body gets warmed up and we have some mobility, right? As we're moving the stuff, it's re-squishing around the fluids in our bodies. It's making the fascia and the tissue more elastic, right? Because we've moved it. Let's do this. You're going to do a circle on one side and then a circle on the other. The weight shift in the middle, circling and twisting, circling and twisting. So this is really sort of three-dimensional movement. There's a lot of up, down, there's forward, backward, and there's side, side. Right? So when we talk about three dimensions, we're talking about the vertical, the horizontal, and the sagittal, and we're mixing them all around here. Feeling the connection of the arms to the lungs. Finding your breath and finding what the energy is here. Like I'm kind of throwing up and having a little suspension, throwing my arms up, not just throwing up, shifting my weight from foot to foot. And let's just go pure horizontal plane, circling, looking behind you, spiraling. So again, we have a whole bunch of lymph inside our back of our body. So like not on the surface, but a little bit underneath, there's a whole bunch of lymph. And when we do these spirals, we are stimulating the movement of that lymph so it's not blocked or stuck. Breathing, let your tongue relax, let your face. And so now I've shifted to these weight shifting twists. So I'm shifting my weight, getting a little flexed foot. And then coming in, and we're going to circle the knees. Circling around. Again, this is dynamic stretching. You're getting some mobility in your body. Change direction the other way. Mobilizing the bones and muscles of your feet. Oh, and now I'm just realizing I don't have my earbuds in. I'm going to put them in. See if they hook up or not. Circling your pelvis. Circling the whole way around. And change direction, go the other way. Mobilizing your torso. Now think of like really mobilizing your spine as you circle your pelvis. So letting, it might get smaller, but you're letting that movement come all the way up. And there's a head-tail relationship here. Feeling the relationship of your head to your tail. Change direction. Spine having some mobility in this circling. Chest, lungs, and heart are getting a chance to open up. And also our diaphragm. So that whole breathing muscle, which is more than just a breathing muscle. It's also this really interesting tissue. So here's the top of my ribs and the bottom of my ribs, the diaphragm is on that inclination. So sometimes we think of it like a umbrella or like a jellyfish. It's like sort of just in the horizontal plane, but in reality, it's kind of on this incline. So when we breathe, we have more space in the back of our lungs than we do in the front. All right, let's take it down to the floor and move around a little bit more. Okay. So going with this spiral, rolling your butt from one side to the other, massaging out the hips. Again, freeing up the spine. So this is also very head-tail oriented. As I roll across my butt, across my tail, and I'm curling my whole spine here. So I'm rounded in. because that lets me get into different parts of my hips and butt in a better way. I could do it up here, and then it's going to be a different relationship into my hips. If I go down here, I can get in there. So I'm going to kind of stick on one side and move around. So my butt is getting the shear, right? So shear is when it's moving like this, as opposed to just roll, as opposed to this, right? There's rolling, there's shear. And then switching it to the other side, same thing. Yeah, mobilizing. So that as I mobilize that tissue in my butt, I'm also going to be lengthening out, stretching out the fascia in my lower back. Having some coffee. Good morning, everybody. And then taking it down all the way onto the floor. And these, yeah, the pants seem to be falling down on me. So I've got to pull them all up. Let's go from side to side here, loose and easy, massaging out. Now we're rolling across, so that should feel very different than that shear. Let your inner thighs really open up through the middle. Depersonalizing, like opening and closing your legs, or making it so personal, but just making it movement. We're just moving. And we're going to spiral over and take it a little deeper, reaching your leg across. If you're a dancer and you want to like do the leg swings in attitude like this, go for it. Even if you're not a dancer and you want to do the swings where your foot stays connected to the floor, go for it. So that's one version. Although for me, this version where I'm just crossing over and reaching, oh, it feels really good in my arms and back. So yeah, as I'm doing this movement, I'm really moving my diaphragm, right? So my organs, I'm getting this twist in my whole torso. The inner body is getting a lot of movement, and the outer body as well. I can feel this in between my shoulder blades, really opening up the space in the middle. Let's stretch the legs out. See if I can get my mat to flatten out. Stretch out, take your arms over your head, just stretch one side longer and then the other. So like right side and then left side, alternating, lengthening out from the inside. So we're stretching and moving, dynamic stretching. Stretching from the inside. And we're going to circle the arms, looking down towards your feet. Inhale, open it up. Big arm circles. Like you're taking off a shirt. Out through your mouth, in through your nose. Or in and out through your nose. Either way. Just try not to do the breathing through your mouth. Change direction. Try not to do the inhale through your mouth. When we inhale through our nose, we filter, moisten. We do so many good things. We're going to change direction. Hold on, which way did we go? We're going the other way. Arms go up and down. Inhale. If I didn't change direction, I apologize. Sometimes it's hard to figure it all out. So this is taking off a shirt. I'm changing again. And this is putting on a shirt. And then from there, let's release. So heel rock, this is a Bartenieff, well, it's not really a Bartenieff fundamental, but it is. It's a sort of it's not really the basic six, but it's definitely a Bartenieff fundamental. You're going to let your jaw relax, tongue, head, neck, rib cage, lungs, heart, organs, all the way down into your pelvis. So you want to see, like sometimes when people do the heel rock, they barely move, like they've really learned how to stabilize. Let that go. Let your whole body free up, like a wave rippling through. And let's let that go. Taking your hands, just getting into your hair. Take the 10 little dragons and send them through the forest on a run. And if you don't have any hair, you can just do it on your scalp, on your skin. So we want to feel how our skin can move over the bones of our cranium, right? It's not locked on. There should be some movement. And you might even feel that like one side feels a little more tight than the other, or maybe not. But feel into that. So you're starting to develop some sensitivity with touch. So you can feel like I can move my whole skin over my cranium. Yeah, everything likes to have a little bit of spaciousness. That is vitality and aliveness. And you can also like do little ear pulls. If you pull the ears down and out, you're going to be affecting the fascia inside your head. It's called your tentorium cerebelli or something like that. And it is this fascia that's sort of separating the top half of your brain from the bottom half of your brain. And it's like a little tent. So letting that move. And then there's like another sort of, it's almost like a bicycle helmet. If you look at this fascia, there's like, I think it's called the falx, the Falx. And there's another part of that word, but I can't remember what it is. So these are big fascial structures, and that one's separating the two sides of your head, like from the front to the back. Right? So when we touch our body on the outside and think about these things on the inside, it also gives us some spatial awareness, right? We start to think, oh, there's this shape in here. That's what I need is a little model of that to show that because it's fascinating. All right, we're going to roll from side to side, rolling onto one side, opening through the middle, and rolling onto the other side. Open, 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 close, close, close. Unfolding, folding, and just feeling, how does it feel to be here, spread out and open, and then how does it feel to be here and closed? Sometimes we need more of this in our life. Sometimes we need more of this in our life. And then bring it in. And let's take our pelvis up. Feet can be fairly wide. Let's just lift the toes up and then lift the heels up. So coming in, toes lift and then heels lift. Waking up the relationship of the feet. Lower leg, calf and shin. So you could try like flexing so that your whole foot comes up, or just lifting the toes, just feeling the difference between that. Flexing up, toes up, flexing up, toes up. Whole foot, just the toes, whole foot, just the toes. Let's circle the pelvis, circling around, mobilizing, taking your time. And then go the other way. Feeling how your legs connect into your body through your pelvis, feeling how your spine is moving in there, feeling what your head and neck want to do. Letting this massage out your shoulders and then bring it into center. High as you can go. Let's take both hands up, internally and externally rotate your hands. Let your shoulder blades move on your back. Warming up the back just by pressing up. And then release it down, roll it down through your spine all the way down and soften into the ground. And let's take another rock. So it's not quite a heel rock, but you want to let your pelvis release, head, neck release, face muscles relax. Jaw, neck, tongue, easy. And let's do a little more abdominal stuff. We're going to do kind of the Laura Ward version of Pilates hundreds. So I'm going to do it with nothing in between my legs, just legs together, pointing my toes so that the toes are touching the floor. Arms up over my head. Exhale, coming up, pulsing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale down. Exhale up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. I am spiraling my hands so that each time they're a quarter of the way different. And now they're going to go all the way out. Up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Regular Pilates hands, palms down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Palms face each other. Up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Palms face the floor and then the ceiling. Up. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then palms spiral out. up. 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. Easy, loose knee drops. Let your abdominals release. Maybe just take your hands and rub into your belly for a second, mobilizing your organs. If you get up here, so here's the edge of my ribs, right? And I can just kind of get my fingers. Let me show you. Let me just do it. I recommend you do this laying down, but I'm going to do it seated so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of walking my fingers under the edge of my ribs. Starting here at the xiphoid process, an easy, gentle little pull under there, waking up my liver, my pancreas. Hello. Even if I go in, my stomach is kind of in there. So giving some movement, not that we're jamming our fingers into our body, but that we're just giving it some mobility, some movement. And then I can go from the middle and kind of pull across, right? Getting in there. I can go from the outside and push kind of in. Yeah, we should start to build a relationship with what it feels like to touch and be touched with our own hands, right? How does it feel to massage? How hard do we need to go? Feeling into what's going on in our own bodies. All right, let's get, hopefully you're still on the floor. We're going to do this one side at a time. So it could be this. It could be up and sideways and lift and down. Let's just start with that. Up. Drop one knee, press it up and lower, up and lower, push and down, up, drop your knee, push. Now it could stay like that, or it could go up, knee and elbow, come onto your side, bring it back, press it up and come down. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. Up, knee and elbow. I'm pushing off the floor with my bottom arm, reaching it out, bringing it in, lifting, lowering, up onto my side, taking it into a sort of back bend here, bringing it in, press it up and down, up onto my side, opening, bringing it in, lift and lower. One more time each side, up, slide, open, bring it in, press up and lower, and last one, up, side, arch, bring it in, press it up, come down, and let's go happy baby from there. So finding your baby, wiggling, softening, whatever you need to do. Breathe into it. Find your breath. So you can move your knees around and just feel how that affects your spine and your lower back. Often for me, my lower back of my hips get fairly tight. So rolling around across it is a great way of like releasing some of that or rehydrating that tissue, negotiating the space inside. And then let that go. And let's do 3 changes with the legs and a circle around. So it's going to be one leg coming in. You're going to have 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to flex my feet for the circle. Reaching through my heels. Open, opening, opening. Other side. 1, 2, 3. Flex. I think that I actually matched the wallpaper today. Going 1. The weird green wallpaper. 2, 3. Opening it up, which was already in the house when we moved in. 1, 2. But I've got the color scheme of the wallpaper happening in my pants. 1, 2. In my leggings. 3. You can also drop your head down. 1, 2. I'm just here blending in with the wallpaper. 1, 2, 3. Open, open, open. So this is really dynamic stretching because we're moving it. Let's let that go. Pick it up, shake it out, and let's go to some more static stretching. So the static stretching is when we're like in a still position, just holding the stretch. maybe moving some part, right? I just went into a static stretch, I flexed and pointed my foot. That's going to shift the tissue in there. So this is kind of a combo platter. I got the static part here, but as soon as I flex and point my foot, this becomes much more dynamic. I wouldn't call this dynamic stretching. This would still pretty much be static stretching. There's not a lot of movement. Now we're going to make it more dynamic with static. So I'm going to flex my knee and ankle in, and then reach and point and lengthen. Flexing it in on the inhale, and then exhale, lengthen out, opening up. Inhale, exhale, imagining every time that the muscles are getting longer, fascia is lengthening out. So if you're tighter, bend this bottom knee. If you're looser, open it up. You can take it slightly to the side, flex it in, reach. Thinking of opening from the inside and the outside at the same time. So inside my body, even if I was doing this without my hand, I could still go pretty far. The hand's going to help me. Flex it in, reach it out. Open, 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 open. Flex it in, reach it out. And then we're going to change it. You're going to inhale, open out to the side, and exhale, cross it over. So I would say that that stretching where it's almost static stretch, but a slight amount of movement is going to open you up faster than just sitting passive in a static stretch. Just a little bit slow movement where we're still holding that stretch. So if we were just here, boom, could hold that. But if I move it through those places, all that tissue is getting a chance to open up in a different way. Going slow. Good. And then release that. Fold the leg in, cross it over to the other side, big spiral. And I can like grab my ribs and just take it a little deeper, getting this spiral with my own momentum. Bring it in. Pick up your butt. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Let your spine realign itself. So you want to come back into neutral. Just feel the difference between those two sides. Shake it, shake it, shake it also. So you're shaking that tissue, hamstrings of both sides, and butt and belly. Let it go. And then switch to the other side. So starting with a knee and ankle, you could hold it here, wherever you've got. You could also use a strap, or a sock or a t-shirt to put around, or a towel. Just something to put around your foot if you can't grab it. Flex it in, reach it out. If you're more open, bottom leg is straight. If you're tighter, bottom leg is bent. Feeling into it. What is working today? Using your breath. In through your nose, out through your nose or mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Couple more times. Last one. And then we're going to take it to the side, opening, and then crossing at the midline. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open, open, open. Exhale, close. Listening into your body to know, like, how far should I be going here? And the answer is only you know, only your body knows. So I would say when you're working on a stretch, like for you, the intensity shouldn't go beyond like a 6 or a 7, right? Like on a scale of 1 to 10. Like if I pulled my foot all the way down to the floor, well, I have really open hamstrings, so maybe that wouldn't be for me. But if I was tighter and I'm like really forcing it, that's probably too much. So work with and this I can hold that without my hand, right? I can take it a little further with my hand. So you probably want to go somewhere where you could hold it without doing anything. Pick it up, shake it out, let it go. So let's talk a little bit about ballistic stretching. This is almost ballistic stretching. Like if I really kick where it's going beyond my range of motion, it's kind of hard to ballistically stretch on the ground, but that could be like I could really throw it up. That's a ballistic stretch where it's possible that I could injure myself because I'm really throwing. I don't know that those are really that helpful for people that don't need the speed of a high kick, right? Maybe it's not necessary for somebody. Although let's do them maybe more gently from the side. We're just going to kick up, fold it in, kick it up, and come down. So this is kind of ballistic stretching. You're throwing it up. In, up, down, up, in, up, down, up, in, up, down. And it actually feels really good to my body, but I have a lifetime of dance under my belt, so that might be why. All right, let's take it in. Let's turn in and out. Rotate in, rotate out. In, out, in, out. Pointed toes, in, out, in, out. This should be coming up from your hip. I can't balance and show that at the same time. Out and in and out. And let's bend both knees and just take your quad back, stretching your quad. Knee goes back, heel in towards your butt. You can rotate slightly in and slightly out. That might change the location of the stretch in your quad. And then come onto your back, crossing your ankle over your knee, draw it in towards you. This can be a bent knee or a straight leg. Whatever feels right to you, breathe into it. And then release, shake it all out, let it go. And flip over to the other side, starting with the side kicks. Yeah, so most of the time kicking is going to be fairly ballistic stretching, right? So we have the three things: dynamic, we're moving; static, we're kind of still; ballistic, we're throwing it. Oh, here we go. Going up, in, up, and down. So I could do this really slow, and then it's not really a ballistic stretch, right? Or I can throw it, and it is a ballistic stretch. So listening in to your body. Last one. And then legs are going to go straight down below you, turning in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Try it with pointed toes, in and out, in and out, and in and out. And on this side, I really feel the like fascia in that hip joint, not in the hip joint, around the hip joint. So as I'm rolling across it, like I slowed down so I could get a little bit more relationship with that. All right, bottom knee comes forward, top knee back, quad stretch, breathing into it. If you want to rotate in and out a little bit there, you can. And then coming back onto your back, cross your ankle over your knee, draw it in, breathing into it. Yeah, so when we're stretching, like it's not like we're stretching everything, the nerves, the blood vessels, all the stuff that's going through your body is also getting stretched, right? We're not just isolating and only stretching muscles or only stretching fascia. We're stretching all of it. And release. Open, open, open. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. And I think that we can think of stretching not so much that we're unless you're a dancer, or a climber or somebody that needs to have a pretty wide range of motion, it's not that we need to be like contortionists, but we do need to have access to movement, right? We want to be able to mobilize, to be able to move and to move easily. So if we move fairly often, our body goes, oh, that's what's happening. And we have a somatic response, like Pavlov's dog, right? Drooling every time like the bell rang because he knew he was going to get food. So it's the same for us, like, oh, we're doing something. My body goes, okay, that's what we're doing. And it settles into that idea. So usually, I mean, dancers can often like do things fairly cold because their body knows what it is. Like, oh, we're doing the splits now. I don't recommend that. Like every time I have hubris around that, every time I think, oh yeah, I don't need to do it, warm up, then I get injured. So we do, we need it, especially as we get older. Let's take it into a regular plank, pushing forward and backward, head forward, tail back. This could be a forearm plank if that feels good to you. And then taking your knee down, coming onto your side. Let's do just an arm circle there. So really mobilizing rib cage, lungs, and heart, head connected to that, opening, and change direction, circle the other way. Pec, lat, deltoid, all those little subscapular muscles, teres major and minor. I don't even know what they're called. Subscapularis. Take it down to the other side, knee is down, onto your side, big arm circle. So we're not trying to do this massive strength thing here. We're trying to get nice mobility in that rotator cuff. Looking toward the palm of your hand, feeling the connection of your head, tail, arm, whole body, change direction. Other way, rib cage, lungs, and heart. Diaphragm moving. Yeah, and coming in. And let's just interlace your fingers. Elbows are pulling out, taking your arms up over your head. Circles, again, rib cage, lungs, heart. Scapula mobilizing. Change direction. Yeah, so we want to train for all of these different things, and maybe at different times or doing different workouts. Like we want to be working on our strength, bone density, all that kind of stuff. When we're using our muscles, we're developing that. When we're using even body weight, and then we want to, move for mobility. So dynamic stretching or just mobilizing our body so that we have capacity to move. Then we also want to go for like maybe more flexibility, maybe more static stretching. All right, let's take this into a forearm plank. One knee to the floor at a time, going down, down, parallel, twisting underneath, twist, twist. Let's just do that. Parallel, parallel, twist, twist, 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 parallel, parallel, twist, twist. Take it all the way down. Head on your hands, curl your toes under, push up and down, bringing your body into a more neutral. So you're neither, so there's like a resting tone of your muscles that is not tense and engaged or totally disengaged and like asleep, right? There's an aliveness in there. And let's open into the shape of an X. We're going to inhale the whole thing up and exhale down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Hands are going to come in, legs are going to come in. Press up, bring it down, open it back out into your X and lower. X lifts, legs come in, hands come in, press, lower down, open into the X and come down. X up, legs and hands in. My legs are going to separate as I go up a little bit. If you want to bend your knees, go for it. And then release. Take it back into a child's pose. Wiggle around, let it go. Shift your weight back towards your heels and come all the way up. We're going to do something I haven't done in a long time. Just give your wrists a break before we go there. Taking it onto your hands and knees, you're going to take one leg out behind you. Make sure it's right behind you, so it's not out to the side at all, but really in line. Both hips are square to the floor. Circles with that leg, small circles. If you feel like you want to make this harder, you can take the opposite arm up off the floor. You can flex your foot and change direction with the circles in the back, reaching through your heel. And then release, switch it to the other side. Leg goes out. Before you take the arm off, find the circle. So find your circle, and then if you feel good about it, opposite arm comes up. And then flex and go the other way. And release. Curl your toes under, take it to a dog. Bend one knee and then the other. Soften, release and let go. And let's roll. So what you're going to do is you're going to be in your dog. You're going to lift high, lift your heels high, round your spine, look towards your belly button. Then you're going to lengthen back through the dog, lower the heels, bend your knees, and look forward between your hands or forward in front of you, arching your back. So heels go down, heels lift, round your spine, coming into a curl. Reach up through your tail to the ceiling, lower your heels, and come forward into an arch with the knees slightly bent. Shoulders connecting into your body. Heels drop, downward dog, heels lift, round your spine. Push through your arms, butt to the ceiling, lower your heels, head reaches forward. Eye of the elbow is facing forward, so it's not out to the side. It's forward into your arch. One more time. Heels down, heels up, scoop and round. And then butt to the ceiling, heels to the floor, and take it forward. And then come down and release. Let go of your hands again. Really three-dimensional movement. You can try going the other way. Yeah, interesting to see what your hands can do. All the different possibilities. Maybe flamenco dancer arms out and up, feeling like this connection into the chest and out through the arms, like you have flamenco dancer arm wings. Yeah, letting them mobilize. Shake it out. The world would be a healthier place if everyone practiced their flamenco dancer arm wings once in a while. All right, let me just check our time. And let's do, do we want to do straddle or do we want to do, no, let's do a side plank. Side forearm plank. You're going to come into your side forearm plank. Let's just take the top leg and take it back behind us and then take it to the front, like you're walking sideways. Top leg back, top leg forward, top leg back, top leg forward, top leg back, top leg forward. And then bring it down, circle the legs around, take it onto your other side. Top leg is going to start in front, press up, and then top leg goes back and forward, back and forward, back and forward, and back and forward. Drop it down, come onto your butt, circle your legs around to the side, press it up. Top leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, one more, 5, down, circle it around. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and come down. Now let's do our straddle. So now we've worked in our sides, we've worked in our QL, maybe our lats, all those side body things. Now we're going to do the same thing with our hands behind our head, elbow towards the floor. So when I say the same thing, I don't mean the same at all. I mean something totally different. Sideways and up. And you can point your toes or flex your feet. If you're not so open, it's going to be here. That's fine too. Work wherever you got it. Trying to touch your elbow to the floor on each side. Then you're going to go to the side, reach the arms out, bring it in, and come up. Sideways, stretch it out, bring it in, up, sideways, stretch, in, up, sideways, stretch, in, up. And then spiral, just twist side to side for a second. Breathing, take it down to your leg. Walk it through the center, over to the other leg. Bring it back to center and breathe. So static stretch, you would just hang out here. But for me, I feel like if I do a little bit of movement, I'm going to open up a lot faster than if I do not. And it's not the old school bouncing with no awareness. It's much more like feeling into the sensations as I'm moving. So here, I can get more of a pull as I'm moving through my spine, feeling my inner thighs, but really staying present with the stretch. If I change from flexed feet to pointed feet, it's going to be different. Good. Release it, bring it in, bring your legs together, give them a bang, rotate in and out, let it all go so that tissue softens back up. It's not all stretched, it's free flowing. And let's slide our feet underneath, taking your knees toward the floor and then your heels towards the floor. So if you can touch down, great. If you can't, no worries. Just move your hands as necessary, forward and backward. Letting your spine be round as you come through this middle place. So like come into the space in the center where you're squatted, but your heels may be off the floor, but you've got this forward, sort of a balance between the forward and backward pull of your body, head, tail. And just invite yourself to relax into that. If that hurts your knees, just take your butt up higher and hang out on your legs. But if your knees are okay, be in the squat. Let your head drop, let your tail drop. There's an expression like water off a duck's back, right? It just whoop, goes right off. So maybe we all need a little more of that, like water off a duck's back, so that things aren't sticking on us so much. In this day and age, let your head drop, relax and surrender, let go. Ha. And then slowly straightening your legs up. We're going to open the feet just a little wider. Turn your toes in, and you're going to bend and straighten in this turned in position. So for me, this is getting the tissue in my whole leg, but especially in my lower leg, in my peroneals, to have this internal rotation, which gives it more capacity. Like if we always stay in an externally rotated or always parallel, then our tissue gets a little bit less capacity for movement. So we want to make sure we're working, if there are two directions, work both of them, right? And then come in and shift from side to side. Let it go. Let your body soften up. Easy and loose. And then coming in, rolling it all the way up, coming all the way up to the top. And let's just take another shake. So let it all go. Bounce, shake. Make some sound. Take up some space with your body, with your voice. Let it go. With your breath. A lot of times I know I see this when I'm working with people, is that they're trying to act like they don't need to breathe as much as they need to breathe. So if you're working out and you need to make noise with your breath, do it. Make the noise. All right, I am going to end the live stream. My TV land folks, please like and subscribe, share it with your neighbors, anybody that might need to move more. And also go back and look at things you haven't done for a while and like do a class that you've done from the past because it will be different this time. So we, kind of layer on the learning. All right.